Okay, so area, perimeter, and circumference. This is the formula sheet for it, and as you see, area up at the top up there, which you really can't see very well, but the formulas for this are really pretty basic, and we'll go through each of these formulas as we look at them. So area and perimeter, and then circumference is included in that because circumference is of a circle. So the first one is area of a square. So area of a square is the side squared because a square has sides that are all the same length. And so of a rectangle is length times width. So a square is very similar to that, except instead of saying length and width, we'll just say side because this side and that side are the same. So it's really side times side, which is the same as length times width. So it's side squared. So if the side is 2.5, then it's just 2.5 squared, which is what your answer is right there. The next one is rectangle. Rectangle is length times width. So length times width. That's all it is. It's 3 times 5. Just this side times that side. So if you think of it this way, if this is 3 feet across and 5 feet, and I mark it this way. So you can see that's 1, 2, 3 feet this way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet that way. Then it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15. But instead of counting them up and drawing it out like that, you just go 3 times 5, and that's 15 square feet. And that's all it is. Another reminder with area is a covering. It's a carpet. It's flooring. It's painting. It's a tarp. Most of your area problems are going to be some sort of coating, covering, something like that, because that's what area really is. Area of a parallelogram is base times the height. So the base could be the bottom one or the top one. Same thing on both of those. The height is this right here. Not this. That is a slant. That is not the height. But the height is that 5. So that's why this is the height. And this is the base. So it's just 11 times 5, which is 55. The area of a triangle is half times the base times, that looks like bay, sorry. Half times the base times the height. So even if the triangle is flipped around the other direction like this is still the base. And then the height is the distance from the top to the bottom if it's laying that way. So it's just 1/2 times the base times the height. That's all it is. The next one is area of a trapezoid. So it's half. Oh, crud. For some reason it did like that. 1/2 times the height. And again, the height is this guy right here. Or that one right there. Not this slant. That's a slant. And so is that one. Base 1 is one of these like this. This is the other one down here. So just pick one of them as base 1. The other one is base 2. I could call this one base 1 and this one base 2, or that one could be either way. It doesn't matter. So as you see in our formula here, we have 1/2, which is 1/2. The height is 4 because the height is 4. Base 1 is 6. That could be this guy. Base 2 is 12, which is this guy. And then you just solve it out from there. Area of a circle. Area of a circle involves pi. So pi, typically we use 3.14 or 22 over 7. If you have a calculator, you can use a calculator. Pi will just compute as pi, and it'll do that. And then, so r is radius. Radius, as you remember, is from the middle to the outside. That's a radius, that's a radius, that's a radius. Because it's a circle, all your radii are all the same length. If you get one and it says the diameter is all the way from one side to the other side through the middle. That's a diameter. That is actually twice the radius, because that's a radius from here to here, and here to here is another radius. So you just find your radius is all you do. So you just plug in radius once you find the radius, and then you square it, which means times itself. Don't forget that. So if you have a calculator and you put in pi times 12 squared, it's going to say 144 pi, which 12 squared is 144, pi is pi. So 144 pi is what you'll get. But on that calculator, that may not be the answer they want. They want the whole answer. So what you have to do is down there, right above the enter button, you have this this button, which is a transfer or a convert button. And it converts from whatever it currently presents it as to a number, a whole number, or a complete number. And so it'll give you that 452.16, and it'll keep on going with whatever it has. Now we're going to look at perimeter. Perimeter is the distance around something. Perimeter is border, it's fence line of a property, it's a fringe or a lace or something around the edge of something. Like a sidewalk around a pool or something like that. So perimeter of a square is 4 times s. Because you got to think, if it's a square, that's one side, that's two sides, that's three sides, that's four sides. They're all 4 the same length. If you can remember that perimeter of a square is just the distance around the outside of a square, then you just know it's this side plus this side plus this side plus this side. Typically, they're going to say the square has a perimeter or has a side length of 4. That was a really bad example. Let's do this one. Let's say a square has a side length of 7. So then you can say, oh, that's 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. Because it's a square, you know they're all 4 the same length. So you could just say 7 times 4, which is 28. So on this one, the side length was 2.5. So 2.5 times 4 is 10. The next one is perimeter of the triangle. Oops, should be rectangle. Sorry. The rectangle below. So the trick where people get really messed up on this one is they give you two lengths. This is a 3 and this one's a 5. Well, don't forget that this side's also a 3 and that side's also a 5. So you could just say it's 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5. Or you could use the formula, which is 2 times the length, which is 2 times 5, because 5 is the length, and 2 times the width, because the width is 3. So then it's just twice 5, which is 10, and twice 3, which is 6, and then 10 and 6 is 16. 2 more. Perimeter of a triangle, just add up the sides. That one's really, really easy. I don't even know why they do that one, but you just think. Perimeter is the outside of something, so it's just one of the sides plus another side plus another side. That's all it is. And then finally, circumference of a circle. And they give you 2 formulas here for this. As you see, you got 2 pi r or pi times diameter. Because, like I said, a radius is just from the outside to the middle. A diameter is from the outside through the middle to the other side. So they give you both options. So in this one, they show you this and they say that's 18 for the whole shebang. So 18 is a diameter. Or if it was a radius, the radius would be 9. Either way, you'd still use the same formulas. So circumference will be pi times diameter, or pi times 18. Radius will be 2 times pi times r, or 2 times pi times 9. And 2 times 9 is 18 times pi. So it's still 18 pi, which you then hit that convert button on the calculator, and it gives you a grand total of 56.52.